Alright, this is a video upload of my 80cc motorized bike. I had a guy on YouTube. I posted up on YouTube. He was looking at the lighting system. He was asking me how did I do my wiring. I said I would do a video. Well, so it's kind of comprehensive, though it's simple at the same time. But I give you a quick overview. I'm going to give an overview of the bike and all the ingredients you need for the lighting system, and then we'll go over the wiring. I'll probably try to do a diagram, but let's start with items you need. Alright, what I did, these are the items that are on the bike that was purchased. As you see here, this is just a basic fog light. This here is a fog light LED. That's the wiring kit. That there's a trailer light. These are just basically marker lights for trailers. You can go down to your Walmart and find all these items there. Just go into the auto section, you can find all the fog lights, and then go to the camper trailer section, and you'll find the that one there is a regular bulb. That's what I had up there at first. But now I have the as you can see here, I don't know if it's pick up clear enough, but these are the LEDs. I went with those because they burn less voltage. Alright, now on these fog lights, as you see here, you got a positive and a negative on each one. These will come with a plug. This is the extension wire kit, however you want to wire it. Now you're going to have to splice the head off on one side to actually wire it in the system. I'll show you that in a second. Now, the rest of the elements are basically just little metal pieces you can go down to your hardware store and buy. Angle iron. Like right here, the whole bracket for the lights, as you can see here, is just an L-shaped angle iron with the holes already attached to it. And I just cut it to extension. Just cut it to the length that I need. Based on here, you can see this back bracket is an angle iron, the one with the holes already in it. Just cut that to length. So I'm coming to this side. Just cut it to length, and as you can see here, basically all I did was take this off, slide that in there to where the holes are lined up at, and tighten it down. I use a couple washers to make sure it doesn't move, and you gotta be careful because if I can get that in here, you can see down here in the opening. I have to put some wash because this is what holds your handlebar still. So you don't want it too loose, and you don't want to over tighten it. You want it tight enough to keep the handlebar still. Now, you can see this bracket here. And most of the LED lights now, what they come with is on one side. Let me see if I can get this in here. You see that metal plate on the corner here? That is the ground. And then you'll have one wire coming out. So what you do is you make sure this metal is grounded. So normally where you put your brakes at on the beach cruise, you got the little horseshoe brakes. Alright, I just drill the hole, slid a bolt through, lock that in. And what I did was line up these the holes on each side for the lights and drill the hole in that. Now the screw here is what grounds, so it grounds it to this plate, which grounds it to the bike. And then I ran my wire, as you can see here, ran the wire to the battery box. And this is how it's worked. I have two batteries set up here. Alright, these are batteries that I just had laying around. Basic batteries, nothing special about them. And you see right there, that's an LED flash fuse, flash relay. I probably don't even know the name of most of this stuff, but I do know how it goes. So now I have two positive wires, as you can see. A positive wire for this battery. Okay, so one of these batteries runs the marker lights. Let me get the switches on here. Alright. As you can see here, I have a set of marker lights on the front. Get down low here and on the rear. And then this brake light, I ordered that off of this is one of those lights that you can buy for ATVs if you want to start putting lights on your four-wheelers or ATVs, three-wheelers, whatever. You order that offline or whatever. You might get one at Walmart. I don't know. I didn't quite look for one. But this has a 3-wire connection. One is for the brake light, one is for the running light, and then one is for the ground. Now if I want to get a good shot of that. But these lights mount the same way, so you just got a piece of angle iron here that these 3 lights are mounted on, as you can see on this side. I'm sorry, that's the ground for that one, and that's the ground for that one. This one has a ground wire on it. The brake has its own ground wire. Alright, so like I said, you got 2 batteries set up. One is for the running lights, the other one is for the headlights. As far as the headlights go, I wanted the low beam and high beam set up. So those are the low beams. And then right here I have a switch, a scooter switch. And this comes on your normal scooters for your high and low beam. That's your high beam. Hit the switch in. That's your low beam. And it's got a signal light. So you hear that clicking, that's the signal light. Alright. Now that's one of those scooter setups. The only thing I didn't like about this switch is that if you notice on most scooters, when you put the key in the ignition and turn the ignition to start a scooter up, the headlight automatically comes on. Now it has a high and low beam switch, but it's just automatically powered with the switch. And I didn't like that. I didn't know that until after I got the switch. So what I did was put a toggle on and off, which I had a toggle for the running lights anyway. And I just went on toggle the power for the high and low beams. Now once I hit this toggle switch, it basically powers this switch from the battery. And then I can hit the high and low beam from that point on the switch here. Let's see if I can get both of these in there. High beam, low beam. Alright. Now it's not really a complex wiring system. This here is basically, this battery box, this is basically Tupperware that I got from Walmart. Drill a couple holes in the bottom and put 2 pieces of metal across the bottom here. And then 2 pieces underneath the basket, the part that normally holds the basket, which is this frame piece here. Let me see if I can get it up on there. Nope, man. Well, ran bolts through and nuts on the bottom, and you pull those 2 back, and it tightens to this rear basket here, cargo, whatever you want to call it. All right, now what I did is once I ran the power to the front. Let me try to do this slow. That power wire from that battery, this power wire here, and this power wire here. Now they both run individually through the bottom of the box. They come down here, as you can see, the complex, seemingly complex wiring. Now they run down this frame. You can see there's zip ties, a little messy. And what I did was, make sure they can get this in here. I drilled a hole in the frame, ran the wires through the crossbar, through this bar, and then they come out on the other side up front here. Not too clear, but anyway. And then you got all your wiring for that. Now the rest of this stuff is pretty much the clutch cable, speedometer cables and things like that. So, and everything is ground. Excuse me. Everything is basically grounded to the seat post. So that's the ground from the batteries right here, which you see runs through here, goes up in the bottom of the box, and it's grounded there. And then you got your relay here. That's wired in. Now, as far as the running lights go, alright. Same type of LED. I just got the ambers for the signals. Ambers up front for the running and signals. And here is the running light for the rear, which I went with red. And it's the same setup. The only difference is this. That's just a piece of metal cut to the length. Now these are pretty much you get these from the hardware store that sell plumbing supplies. And the reason I went with this is because this bike is well painted. It's hard to get a ground on this bike because it's well painted. So what I did is I brought these for pipes. I don't know, these are pipe tie downs or something of that nature. I get a good view of it. Maybe you know what that's called. I don't know. And the reason I brought these is because it makes a good base mount. And once you tighten these screws down, what it does is digs into the frame and gets a good ground. And then once you put this attached to this, you got a good ground for your light. Plus it gives me an extension that makes it set out to where it's actually visible instead of just right up on the bike. And if I can get the front view here, you see this bolt here. I just found a bolt that actually, because that's got a, as you can see on the back of this, that's a screw that can screw down into here. And that's the screw on the front. Just find the right size screw. Now these two screws come with it. But this, it's got a little front mount there with it straight. You drill your hole through your little piece of metal here. Screw it in. And put some Loctite on it so it don't actually flex up and down. But that's a general idea of the setup. So you got your battery box, batteries. Now you probably can use one battery, but I just went with the two battery setup because this little battery is the one to run all my running lights. And running lights and signal. Because they all LEDs, they don't burn a lot of current. I think they're less than 1 volt or something like that. Now you're gonna need that LED flashing to make those things blink. They just won't do it otherwise. It's some kind of electronic flashing. Maybe you know about it already. But what I'm gonna do now? Well, that's the basic mounts. It just okay. You see the ones up front here. If you go in the plumbing section, you'll find one of these type things. Now you need to get the size of the frame. I think this is 1.5 inch in diameter, the front forks. The other one, the reason why they look different because this is a lot smaller. Now you might have to kind of, give me a second here. Once you screw them in, you might have to kind of twist it a little bit so they dig into the paint. But once I got them lined up the way I want, this right height or where I kind of twist it, get a ground on it. Make sure you got a good ground on it, and then tighten it down. You're not going to be moving that too much. Like if this light ever blew out, I can easily just, you know, take the two front bolts out. Just take the nuts loose, pull that out, and change it. Now if you see here on the tips here, I got all button connectors right now, and these kind of setups can be very useful. They call them quick connects, and I'll show you how it works. But like I said, here is the power wire for all the running lights. And so all I did was wire that side to this side. So as you can see here, it's kind of U'd over. And that's the power wire coming in. Well, your running lights. Once you hit the switch, all your running lights come on. You don't need your running lights. I mean, my running lights and my signals are separate. So I can just, and this here is from the light in the rear, and then you got one on the other side here, which is for the other light in the rear. Those are actually ran through the frame too. As you can see, the wiring starts here, comes up here, and then it runs into the frame. And it does the same on the other side, and I just run it. Let me step back here. So each one of these bars here on each side got a wire running through it. And you can see here, it's got a wire, that's where it comes out at. But next I'm going to go in and set up this diagram and give you a wiring diagram. And then we'll come back to the actual physical setup.